If you've ever traveled to Morocco, you've definitely seen and tasted your fair share of tagines. And yes, the tagine is both the dish that you eat and the pot that it's cooked in. There are so many different kinds of tagines. There are meat tagines, seafood tagines, vegetarian tagines, but my favorite was the beef and prune tagine, like this. Before you turn your nose up at the idea of prunes, believe me, it's the perfect combination of sweet and savory. So to make this tagine, I'm actually going to cook it in a Dutch oven pot and then serve it in this decorative tagine. If you do decide to cook yours in an actual tagine, just make sure you follow the directions to prepare it for cooking. I'll include them in the details of this video as well. I have been to Morocco a bunch of times. There's so much to see. It's a beautiful country. We've been to the city of Marrakesh, up in the Atlas Mountains, down in the desert, and the food is incredible. First step is getting the pot nice and hot and ready. While that's happening, let's season our beef with some salt and pepper. Once the pot is hot, let's add in our 1/4 cup of oil and then start to sear off the beef. Let's do it in 2 batches so that we're not overcrowding the pan. We want to give them enough space to get brown and seared all over. That'll really help with the development of flavor. Let's remove the beef from the pan and set it on the side. We're going to put it back in later on. Next goes in our onions. We've grated them finely so that they have a head start on breaking down. We really want to get them nice and soft and tender. This will take about 15 minutes. While our onions are getting tender, let's steep our saffron in some hot water. That will really release the flavors before we put it in our pot. Now the onions are looking really nice and tender. You can see they've dried out and they're slightly golden brown. That means we're ready to go. Next in goes our spices. We have first ginger and then turmeric and then this huge cinnamon stick that we're gonna break in half. Give that a good stir because we want that to get in contact with the heat as well, so it's gonna, continue to develop the flavors. Next goes in our garlic. We're gonna return the beef to the pot, give it a good stir, and now we wanna top the whole thing off with stock. Probably about 2.5–3 cups, just enough to cover everything. Now we're gonna add in our saffron that we've steeped, top it off with our little cilantro bundle, and now let's turn up the heat, bring it up to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, cover it, and we're good to go for about 2 hours. That's how long it'll take for the beef to get tender. It's been about an hour, so let's check on our stew and scoop out about 1 cup of the cooking liquid. So for the prunes, first, since they're dried, we want to hydrate them a little bit. So let's put them into a pot of boiling water, let them simmer in there for about 5 minutes, and then let's drain it off. In that same pot, we're going to melt some butter, add in our cooking liquid that we took out, return the prunes, and add our last couple special ingredients, some honey and some cinnamon. This is all going to simmer down into a thick, delicious syrup that we're going to drizzle on top when our tagine is finished. It's been 2 hours and our beef is finally tender. Now let's scoop out our beef and reduce down the cooking liquid to a thick sauce. Now that you see the sauce is nice and thick, we're ready to go. Let's put the beef back in, give it a good stir, and let's plate this up. First goes the beef and the onion sauce. Next, we're going to pile on those prunes and their thick syrup. If you have any extra in the pot, just drizzle it right on top. Finally, for some garnishes, we have some crunchy almonds, some toasted sesame seeds, and a little bit of cilantro on top. We're ready to go. Let's eat. The sweetness of the prunes perfectly balances out the richness and the savory flavor of the beef. The almonds add the perfect textural contrast. You guys, this is so good. Totally worth the wait, the time, and all the effort, and it tastes amazing. For more rapid-fire travels and just a bunch of other fun stuff, be sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, please like and comment. If you have any questions, let me know.